Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the final round of the US Women's Senior Chess Championship. I'm very excited to bring you the final round. Lots of interesting chess has happened this past weekend, and I certainly hope you enjoyed it. Once again, I want to say thank you to the organizers, David and Maureen Grimont, for having me on site and being able to meet some of the players, interview them. Lots of those videos will be posted on YouTube, so be sure to follow US Chess on all the social media accounts. You can do so by clicking those links that or not, maybe not, it should work. Yes, it's worked. And it's been interesting to see some of the players fight all the way till the end. Psychology is still very important, no matter when you get to play, no matter the age. You still have to have the patience. You have to have the strength to fight until the end, especially if you have a better position. But then time management can be tricky too. So I have noticed some things, and hopefully throughout the entire weekend I have not offended anyone in any way. But I do have to say, I was told I was pronouncing one of the players' names wrong. So sincere apologies for doing that. I'll try my best to pronounce it better. That person's name is the player playing with the black pieces in this game. So I was told it's pronounced Shushanik. So hopefully that's correct. And I'll find out at the end of this day. But in case I did mispronounce someone's name, I know how tough it is to, or unpleasant it is sometimes to have your name mispronounced. So if I did, just wanted my apologies to be there at the beginning of this the stream, just in case. But without further ado, I think everyone is very excited to see how the first two boards are going to proceed. We have woman grandmaster Angelina Belakovskaya, 3 times US women's champion, starting with d4, playing against woman FIDE master Olga Sagalchik, who's had a very nice tournament so far. Got a bit lucky in the previous round, and was able to outplay her opponent from an equal end game. And now, unfortunately for Olga, or maybe fortunately, maybe she's comfortable to play with the black pieces. She's doubling the black pieces, and looks like they went for a Slav defense. Now, Slav is relatively solid opening that you can play with the black pieces if you want to play for a draw, but there are some ideas to try to improve too. Now, it's too early to tell which line she will choose to play. There's variations with a6, which is called Chebanenko, or Chameleon Slav, or like I like to call it, Slav with a6. It has way too many. There could be too many names to remember, but you need to, as long as you know it. In my view, as long as you know what you're talking about, which opening it is, I think it's cool to sometimes not know what the name really is. But if you can memorize them, please do so. It feels better to know what we're talking about. But anyways, we can also see e6 being played the next move, depending on what Angelina will choose to play here. e6 will be called the Semislav or Meran, and of course, from there are some other variations that can happen, like, for example, the line with Queen a5, Bishop b4, which is called Cambridge Springs. So we'll have the knight in d7, and that would happen in case white does play the move Bishop g5 and black goes for e6, e3, knight b d7, knight f3, queen a5, right? So this changes a little bit the variations, but it's still early to tell what it's going to be, but I want to remind everyone that it is Angelina who's leading the tournament right now with 3.5 out of 4. And there are 3 players with 3 points. Those players are Olga Sagalchik, Natalia Tsodikova, and Shushanik Ayrapetyan. So it's going to be an interesting finish of the tournament, and I predict some decisive games in these first 2 boards. Now, I don't want to take sides, and I'll just let chess speak for itself. We are familiar with that terminology. On board 2, Natalia has doubled the white pieces as Shushanik has played white 2 times, having white in the previous round against Angelina. Natalia is going for the Ruy Lopez this time around. She has played Italian, I believe, also. Thank you so much, appreciate it. Bishop b5, a6, and now she plays a more well, I guess not as popular of a line d3 here. She's trying to defend the pawn immediately. Castle is the most, natural move, but of course we can see knight takes e4 and now d4. This is a bit more aggressive. Natalia goes for bishop a4 and d3. Now, we're defending the pawn, and this is something I always tell my students to be mindful about when they play against the Ruy Lopez. If white defends this pawn under any circumstance, d3, queen e2, rook e1, knight c3, any of those moves that defend the pawn, now white is threatening to take this defender of the pawn in e5 and capture the pawn. For those of you who are not familiar with this, just in case, if white captures in c6 at this moment, pawn takes and tries to grab the extra pawn, it's not going to stay there for too long, because after queen d4 or queen e7, black recaptures the pawn. But after defending it with d3, we do want to do that, and that's why in this position black has 2 main choices, in my opinion. The one that I think is the most main is b5, chasing the bishop away and stopping it from capturing in c6. The other one would be d6, protecting the pawn with the pawn, allowing still bishop takes c6, but in this case, of course, there will be a pawn structure that I think it is favorable to black, and we also get the bishop there. So in this position, b5 is played, bishop b3, and the players follow a relatively main line. Now, a nice idea for white is to play a4 in this position, or knight c3 first, followed by a4. But I see Natalia going for rook e1. She's probably going to attempt bringing in the knight towards g3, but that remains to be seen. Knight a5, bishop c2, c5. This is the Chigorin variation. The pawn is pushed early on in order to... We don't really stop d4, but we are ready to meet d4 with the move queen c7. This is typically what happens in these kinds of positions, but usually white would play it on a different move order. But okay. Here we have c5 directly, and Natalia is thinking knight e2. Okay. And now probably we'll see the move either knight c6 or queen c7. Rook e8 could also be played, idea being retreating the bishop in f8, and sometimes black actually switches over, fianchettos the bishop in g7, and then at some point with the rook in e8 defending the bishop covering the king, black is considering to prepare to push d5. Hi there, mighty minion, you are here. Great to see all of you. Hopefully you don't have too many complaints about my stream, my comments, my delay in being live or something. I don't know. Name pronunciation, anything can happen. It's okay. It's okay. Constructive criticism is always appreciated. Okay, so on board 3, We have Women's International Master Alexey Root, who's been writing articles and recaps of this event. Be sure to check them out on US Chess, on the official page of US Chess. Alexey is on 2 points out of 4. She just won her game against Women's International Master Shernaz Kennedy. And we have Jennifer Skidmore, who's on 1.5 points out of 4. And this position, of course, I prefer white because of the bishop pair and a slightly better pawn structure. But it's still too early to tell that someone is very advantageous. White is definitely a bit. What did we have here? Okay, so yeah, Jennifer has played this entire tournament, this Philidor defense with d6. Which name? The Shushanik? Whose name? How do I say whose name? I'm trying my best. I should have asked in the future when I go to a tournament, I will ask all the players how to pronounce the name, and I will write it down with with the phonetics alphabet. Have a list next to my computer, and I'll make sure that I'll be mindful. I have another one that I have to fix, but I haven't talked about it yet. But once I do, I will fix it. Whenever it comes in the chat, I will fix it. I will fix the pronunciation. Okay, takes. Aha, this is interesting. Yes, knight takes e4. So if black plays here, black will be in trouble, of course, because knight takes e5, and you don't have time to capture in e4 because f7 is hanging. And then if you go back to protect it, or maybe bishop e6, which makes more sense, develop a new piece, white can simply play f3, and white is up a pawn, right? So we have to be careful a little bit with how we play this line. I was actually surprised of the move knight f6. Usually, to my knowledge, black should capture in d4, knight takes d4, then knight f6. That gives up the center, but in a way it does help black I don't know, with the development somewhat. This is interesting. Queen d5. Bishop e7. I wonder how much of this the two players have prepared. I know Alexey has prepared a bit of openings for this tournament. I heard her conversation a few times, and I think she heard one of my round commentaries, and she said she answered my question, which was regarding whether she has prepared everything against Natalia. It was in the first round, and yeah. Jennifer has played she has played the Philidor in every single game that she played with the black pieces. So queen takes d6, knight c3. I like the development. I'm not as fond of giving up the bishop pair. So maybe, I don't know if there's a moment of improvement here. This is a bit different than what I knew. So like I said, I knew move 3, e takes d4. I thought that was the move that people were playing there. Yeah, black has to give up the bishop. There's no way to keep the bishop there. Bishop e5. What about long castle? Do you guys think long castle would be a nice idea for white here? I kind of like it. If you go here, maybe bishop h4 to protect f2. I could also go bishop e3. I kind of like long castle, and of course this capture should not be good for black, because after b3 the bishop will be stuck in a2. And after either one of these moves, bishop h4 or bishop e3, white has the ability to go bishop d3, chase this knight away, and there's pressure already on the pawn in d6. I see knight. So yeah, bishop e5, I don't know how I feel about that move necessarily. I think black can just castle, no? Because what is the bishop doing here? It's not like you're going to take, at least I wouldn't. Unless she was thinking to do this, but you have to be careful with black. I don't think this works. Can we find something for black to win here relatively fast? Maybe bishop c4 check? Restricting white from running to f1, and then you have to go, okay, if you go to d2, maybe knight e4 just loses the bishop on the spot. So if you go king d1, what is the best approach? d8, we like that. Pin it to win it, that's what they say. So now we just win the bishop. So yeah, castle, you cannot go for the pawn. I wonder if this was Alexey's idea, to go for the pawn in d6. But she does need some development. I guess you can technically castle long now to put pressure on the pawn. But if she did go bishop b5 to take and bishop e7 and stop black from castling, it was not necessarily the right call. And now if I play f6, maybe bishop f4. Okay, here, this would be a mistake. This would be a blunder, because we take and then bishop e7, right? Bishop e5. I actually went to h4, not to f4. Interesting. So I think this g5, the fact that black is, I guess after bishop f4, yeah, bishop f4 is putting pressure in d6 immediately. So, that pawn is going to be hanging. g5 is definitely in black's favor, because now we will have g4, g5, g4 at some point. Right now we need to deal with the defense of that pawn. Maybe king e7. And now suddenly, there's rook d8, there's d5. Black is doing great, and with a pawn in g5, you can't easily chase away my bishop in e6. So I think I like this position. It feels like a position where you might want that pawn right away. Yeah, that's why I was suggesting long castle in this position after c takes d6. But yeah. She castled long. Oh, okay, even better. I didn't think of that move at all. I like the king in e7, but hey, there's nothing wrong with the king castled. The c file is closed. Okay, king there, and then king c7 eventually. Sure, that's fine. Okay. Catching up with board 4. What is your assessment of this player's chess ability? Do they have? Oh yeah, they definitely have distinct chess styles. Yeah, some of them are more positional, others more aggressive, and I think a lot of, actually, it's probably a mix. As we get older, my dad, I had these conversations with my dad, because my dad used to be strong. I am close to 2500 for at his peak, and a lot of his life he was around 2420 or something, which 2400, 20 years ago was kind of like maybe like 2550, 20, maybe not 26, but 2550 these days maybe. And with time he has lost his um he told me that so this is for my dad. I'm not making a generalized statement or anything. It's very hard to make a generalized statement. But with him specifically, he mentioned to me that he felt he wasn't as sharp tactically as he grew older, and he wasn't as interested in playing attacking games anymore. Overall, he was like a good classical player. He was playing both attacking and positional chess, and always tried to make sure when we were working on chess that I developed both parts of the game in a similar fashion. But he told me that with time he felt he lost his edge in attacking chess. He didn't feel the initiative as well anymore, and he was better off playing more positional chess. But not everyone is the same. Some players maintain their styles throughout their entire careers. I have had the pleasure to play against Angelina, for example, maybe 10 years ago or something like that. And she was overall a very strong, aggressive player. I see similar approaches these days as well. So, like um, she seems to have maintained that understanding of attack very, very well throughout her career. And here I saw her also bringing in some aspects of positional chess. She was more mindful um, in preparing the attack and not really sacrificing too soon. And this is, she played 4 games. I can only say these things based on 4 games, but it seems to me that she's combined the two styles very well so far in this tournament. I find that sometimes older players become even more reckless and aggressive because it is less mentally tiring. Um, well, here's the thing. So, um, I it's hard to tell. Um, I think if you were an aggressive player, you might try to be more it really depends, because I see some of these ladies go a bit too aggressive in some of the games, and you have to have some balance with positional chess. A few weeks ago when I did a commentary for another tournament, I described this. What I felt um, was something a lot of players don't really get a good sense of, and that was the understanding that getting positional advantage and accumulating various positional advantages eventually will materialize, and you will actually be able to change those for material gain. A lot of the times we go for material gain without understanding that gaining more positional advantage on the long run could be giving us a much better position. So, in order to be an overall good player, you have to be able to combine the different strengths and the different um, ways of playing attacking chess and positional, because otherwise one will be developed very well and get a position where calculation doesn't matter. You have to plan things, and you have to be mindful on how you place your pieces to actually have you know a, a good follow-up. You won't be able to do that because you only know how to attack. So everything has to come together, you know. Savina, thank you, thank you. I don't know who you are, but no, all good, all good. Thank you. All right. So what do we have here? Mary is playing some interesting line of the Alapin that I'm not familiar with. It must be some gambit. I don't know h3 here. Well, it's not really gambit. I mean, it's a trap, but I mean, I don't think I know h3. I know bishop I know bishop d3 and I know bishop e2. Maybe h3 is one of the moves. Maybe I'm confusing it. So there's a trap here, okay? So you cannot capture this pawn with black because of this move. Please don't fall for it. It's so easy to fall for this idea, to just think like, oh my goodness, free pawn. My opponent touched the h pawn by mistake and I can just take it. But yeah, so of course with c3, white normally wants to play d4, but if you play d4 here, then yes, this pawn is going to be able to be captured by black. That's why you need to make a move. That's why bishop e2 is perfectly fine. But h3, okay, is an interesting move, trap basically. Knight c6. Now black is threatening to take. So what did she do? Bishop d3 here. Okay, so it's just a change of move orders. All good. Bishop c2. This is a typical idea where white temporarily places the bishop in front of a central pawn and then prepares to play d4 and have control over the center. Castle, d4, b6. Good development by Mary, knight d2. I like that she took her dark square bishop out first, could defend d4, and now develops this one. Oh, okay. Ah, she has to. She has to do this. If she goes bishop b1, there's bishop a6. And then black can try to get the bishop pair anyways. Was there a moment for white to try to not allow knight b4? Because personally, I don't want to. Yeah, here. If it were me, personally, I would go for d5. But again, if you know me, you know I enjoy positional chess and I enjoy space when I have the chance to get the space. Capablanca. I'll always go back to Capablanca, my favorite world champion. You don't have respect for bishop d3? What? There's nothing wrong with bishop d3. You just need to make sure you save your bishop. You just need to make sure your bishop is safe. You know, like, just don't give it up. Play a3 or go bishop b1. Like, it's fine. Chase this knight away and then goes there, and then we can take, and then develop our bishop. I mean, this position is perfectly fine. Very perfect. Moving on. Bishop e3. Okay. So yeah, I'm not happy with Mary's decision of giving up the bishop, but she has no choice at this point because, like I said, bishop a6, knight d3. But knight takes, and the position now is relatively balanced. Knight b1. Knight b1. Sorry, queen b1. And what is going on here? Queen b1. Do we want to go for the trades? Or I have another idea for black. I have this idea, which I think is kind of cute. Tag the rook, make the rook go away, and then you just keep the pressure. Queen e4. See, and that's why I wanted white to play d5. I wanted white to get a little bit more space if possible. All right, and let's catch up with the final game between Natasha Christensen and Shernas Kennedy. Natasha went for the aggressive Smith-Mora. Okay, let's see. I wonder, okay, so Natasha's husband is the famous Grandmaster Larry Christensen. I wonder if he's watching my commentary or the game. And the previous game, Natasha was winning. She was up a knight. So I wonder if he told her to play aggressively with confidence, and no matter what, just play for a win. After after having to draw that game, I wonder. I will ask her. Unfortunately, I won't be able to tell that story later unless I interview her, and then it will be posted on US Chess YouTube page, which it might very well might be. So that's why you have to follow US Chess on all the social media accounts, because you never know what may be posted that might be interesting to listen to. But I will ask her that question, and maybe I'll post it on my own social media once she tells me, because I don't remember her playing the Smith Mora, but I could be wrong. But then I know who her coach is, so maybe. Okay, we'll see. We'll find out that information. Sharnaz plays a line that I like to play as well with black against the Smith Mora. Bring the knight to g6. Having the knight here keeps the king safe, and if you put the knight in f6, you will allow e5. So that's why we put it in g6 to keep the diagonal closed, and also we're controlling h4, not allowing white to push that pawn forward. Did I say Natalia? Did I say Natalia? Oh my goodness. I hope I didn't say Natalia. I meant Natasha. Let's see. Yes, Natasha is she's the lowest rated in the tournament. And she has scored so far 3 draws and she had 1 loss. But the games that she drew, she was winning. 2 of them of the games she drew, she was winning. So she got low on time, and I felt she might, agree on a draw, but Larry wrote the touching forward to Mindham the more. Yeah, and she does. Yeah, they're friends with the author of that book. So, Esserman. I'm always rating Esserman when I'm streaming. And he's a very interesting person and author and player, and there's always some aggressive game going on when I watch his streams. So if you want to learn more about attacking chess, definitely check out his streams. Easy. You think the Smith Mora is an easy opening? I would disagree with you. Maybe it's easy to remember some moves that you have to play, but you have to have quite a bit of understanding. Okay. Okay. All right. So, then bishop e3, knight c6. Okay, so everything seems very, very natural here. Very natural for everyone. Queen d7. And now rook f to d1. Wait, why did she play rook b8? I think she wants to take in b6. Sharnaz had a tough tournament. She had good games, but sometimes she overplayed, she overpushed, and maybe she's trying to get a draw in the final game. But why would she play rook b8? Hi again, Win. Take talkers. I'm in call with others? No, I'm not in any call with anyone else. It's just me. I'm the only person here. T-checks, listen. The moves for white are easy, but you still have to know how to figure out how to attack. I mean, you are down a pawn, so if black manages to get a good setup and keep the position solid, you will end up getting into a position with a pawn down where you have to figure out how to play. So you need to avoid getting those positions. So I don't think it's that easy. I disagree with you. I'm sorry. I usually like to agree with everyone. I'm an agreeable person in general. Well, I'm stubborn, so probably I'm not really. But I really don't. It's easy to make the moves, but I mean, you know what the moves are. I'll agree with you. It's kind of like a system, but like a system where you're down a pawn. Okay. All right, let's agree to disagree so that we're not fighting. But knight a4, d6 here. So I thought, is d6 really necessary? Doesn't black? Is there a line also with queen c7 here, or am I confusing it? But then maybe there's bishop b6. I guess I like this better because the queen goes to d7, but now black has to find a way to get the bishop away from there. So here's my idea. She castled first and then this, but now she might be losing this pawn. Because originally I was going to say maybe a5, rook a6 would be a nice idea, but we don't have time. And maybe that's why white needs to do something else. Black, sorry, has to do something else here. Maybe b5? I don't know what the theory is. I still think you should know some theory. I think you should know some theory. How do we stop bishop b6? Could black play bishop b4 here? To be able to go here if need be, to control b6, and then castle, and then bring the bishop in c7? I think that's potentially an idea, right? Where's Esserman when we need him? Mark Esserman. we should just find his stream and just ask what's the theory, and then he will probably say, Sabina, why don't you have my book? All the information is in my book. Bishop e7, knight a4. I'm not a huge fan of allowing the knight to b6. Actually, going back even to this moment, maybe black can start with knight c6 or maybe d6. Or I've even seen people going here first, and then bishop e7 castle, and then figuring out the queen side. But okay, we have this position. I just want to know what to expect in this position. Rook d1. And basically, Shernaz is just giving up the pawn. Now, there's no easy way to defend it, but at least let's try to get something in return. Should we just go back bishop e7? Is it that bad? It's bad because your pieces are relatively entangled here with the bishop in c8 being restricted. Yes, I was on a break because there was a break between the two games. So yes, I went to have some lunch. The players did too, and probably they prepared a bit because this is the final round, very important for the standings. There are prizes in this tournament, of course. Big thank you to Precision Tune Auto Care for sponsoring the tournament, and I said it before and I'll say it again. It's definitely one of the best organized tournaments that I've seen. So the amount of passion with which the organizer that the organizers are putting into the tournament is um, really fantastic. I mean, it's you just it's not often that you get to to be in a nicely organized tournament. I mean, everyone is trying to get things to work well, but I think David and Maureen go above and beyond to make sure everyone is taken care of and is feeling good, ready to play, enjoy the game of chess, and be able to share these moments with others. And they've organized the tournament last year. This is the second year they're putting it together, and it's yeah, it's really wonderful. Okay, all right. So let us catch up with this because I stopped after knight f6 and I was waiting to see. Angelina has played the system with f3, but she actually played it here now. Okay. Now this is new. I'm not familiar with this move here at all. I have no. I see what she's trying to do. I see she's hoping for a capture to be able to go e4 or e3. But other than that, f3 is a very interesting choice. So she's trying to go e4, and if we just play g3, is she gonna go for e4? I guess g6, e4. Okay. This gives me an idea of something, but I can't talk about it right now. What about e5? Is this too aggressive? Probably, yeah. I want to do something like this and this, but okay, I don't think we're ready for this position. Okay, I think what Olga did is relatively natural. I would probably play that too. So Angelina goes for a4 here. USA chess feels like it is. Wait, what? Ah, okay, okay. I really enjoy being able to create content. I think it's something I started enjoying more and more, of course. Um, Teaching is my number one thing that I do. But I have enjoyed content creation and doing commentary a lot, and I owe a big thanks to US Chess for giving me the opportunity to do a lot of commentary on the channel, and I hope that with time it will grow into more and more into a good educational um, platform where people will be able to learn new things, stay updated with the tournaments that are happening in the world and in the US, of course, and such. So it's really nice to be able um, to see more content, and that's why I'm always reminding all of you to follow US Chess on social media as well as here and YouTube, to stay notified when videos are being posted, their podcasts being created monthly, and we they're trying to find ways to promote chess for all, for everyone, and yeah, like we really appreciate you being here. My mic dropped again. No, I've had some issues, and I apologize. My mic broke yesterday. I need to buy another mic. Okay, let me fix something. One moment. Let me fix something. Okay, how are we doing now with the mic? Is it better? I hope it's better. I certainly hope it is better. Can you guys confirm that you can hear me? Please? Someone? Anyone? Much better? Is it too loud? Maybe I need to reduce this. Yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun breaking my mic, but I'll buy another one. What to do? What to do? Life. Let that be the smallest loss or the biggest loss that I will have. Okay. D takes E4, A4, this. Okay. So we transpose to some kind of Queen's Gambit accepted slash Meran, but it's not really, it's not Botvinnik because this Botvinnik variation is with Bishop G5. So yeah, it's... Is my voice distorted or you can hear it okay? Because last time it was distorted. Audible, but is it distorted? One second. It's coming in fine? That's good. That is very good. Yeah, I'm using the mic of the camera is not the best one, so apologies about that. I could not have predicted that I'll break my mic. Okay, all right, thank you. Bishop E7, and this is the current position. Well, Olga is up a pawn, and it's going to be interesting to see how Angelina plans to play this position. I don't know how I feel about that. I was thinking maybe E4 could be played, and after B5, I guess we're getting into something similar, but not quite, because now we're actually attacking B5, and if you play E6, you know, you lose the pawn, you can't really protect it. You probably should go B4 and then knight E2 or knight B1, but knight E2 or knight B1, maybe knight B1. And then white's gonna either take with the bishop or knight D2, knight takes C4. That would be a nice idea. Who's my favorite to win? I don't respond to provoking questions. I don't want to respond to those. Why are you putting me on the spot like that? What if the players have finished and they're in the room and they're listening, and then, you know, I don't say the correct person who's in the room? I will get in trouble, mighty minion. I don't think I should answer that on stream. I can answer that in private. Feel free to ask me then. I'm just rooting for good games. What coffee did I get today? Cappuccino. I got a cappuccino. Cappuccino with peppermint. I asked them to put a pump of peppermint thingy, and I can't even taste the peppermint. Is it the coffee of champions? I don't know. I'm not playing right now, so probably not. No. Of retired players. Is the coffee of retired players. Temporary retirement. It eventually. Ask me maybe in a year. In a year I'll be able to answer if it's or 2 years maybe. If it's the coffee of champions or not. When I was in college, I used to drink all these fancy caramel frappuccino drinks, and now it's just too much caffeine. I try to drink a bit less, but when you stream for a long time, you do need a little bit of energy. So I try to get something sweet typically. Okay, Natalia has a really good position. So we stopped around here, right? Well, I changed my drink since the morning. Now I have a different drink. Is there a tournament favorite to win? Well, usually the favorite to win is either the defending champion or the player who's the highest rated. Most of the time, those are, those would be the players that you would say are favorite to win a tournament. Now, with the current standings, if you want a statistical reason, the most chances are Angelina has the most chances because she has 3.5. So I don't know. I didn't check what the tie breaks were. I actually can check it right now. To let you guys know. Because Angelina, like, if she draws and she beat Natalia, and so if she draws, I believe she will be finishing first. But let me confirm the tiebreak. I did not check that. I didn't. Last year there was no shared first or anything. Here's what will happen if there's a tie for first. If there's a tie for first, there will be a blitz playoff to determine the champion. That's what's gonna happen. I'm not sure if there's a blitz playoff, then I might be streaming again. I guess. I'm not sure. And the time control will be 3 minutes plus 2 seconds increment. And if it's 2-2, then they play one Armageddon game with a 2-second increment. So I don't know what the Armageddon will be. If it's a three-way tie, the tiebreaker is modified median to determine the first seed. So yes. Now, I don't know what's the time control for the Armageddon, because normally Armageddon is 5 with 4, 5 minutes for white, and then 4 minutes for black, but black has draw odds. but I have to confirm this with the tournament with the arbiter. So I will let you guys know once we get that point, if we get to that point. So right now the most chances are for Angelina, but then of course we have to look at the position. I mean, it's very hard to tell because Angelina is first with 3.5, and then there's 3 players with 3 points, and they all play one another. So it's really about the form, the opening that they got, the positions, how well they can keep their nerves to play. How to get in touch with Sabina? I don't share my personal phone or anything like that, so why do you need to get in touch with me? You can send me a message on Instagram or something, and then I'll see how I feel. C5. Okay, so Natalia has brought her knight to G3, and I like that idea. I think it's pretty nice. Okay. D4. Interesting approach by black. I don't like the C4 approach. This closes down the position and gives white a clear path to attacking black's king. So what do we do? Do we go d5? Do we go d takes e5? Do we just leave the pawn there and try some... Like, I can't... Oh, actually, maybe this works? Because I don't think... Does the sacrifice work? No. We knight here, we just take it, and when they take, we have queen here. What is the best approach for white in this position? I really want this. But sometimes people do this, but I just think it's a bit too passive. Knight g5? Bishop g5? But I just really don't want to do this. I really don't want black to have the ability to enter on the b file. Should we just take? I didn't even consider that. Okay, I have this idea. What do you guys think about it? I know I like it. The engine approves. It is approved by the bar. The bar approves. I don't know if the engine, but the bar has not changed. Okay, this looks nice for white, actually. She played something. What did she do? Ah, she went knight to 5. Okay. But this would be nice, no? Of course, if you don't take in b2, I still play bishop c3. And, you'll have to take, and then white can recapture with the knight, and then we still bring a piece to f5. Eventually we'll bring it. It's just, it might need to take a little bit of time, but I think that would be a really nice approach, no? I think so. I certainly think so. Okay. Knight f5. Knight f5 is nice too, because you're asking black a question. Do you feel like giving me your bishop? And black will say, yeah, sure. But then after we take, we're threatening here. And then if you take, knight takes. Queen comes into play. Bishop comes into play. I mean, bishop pair, knight on an outpost, weak black king. Pieces here don't do anything, Okay, that's a nice move too. I'm too hard to reach out to. Okay. Well, I mean, just because I'm streaming, I have some private life too, I don't know. I don't share all my information online. If I don't know why you want to reach out to me, but feel free to send a message on my either through Instagram or my website, and I'll try to get back to you. If it's something related to a class or something. If I know you, then you probably have my contact information. Otherwise, I try to keep some information as it's personal. So I'm here to talk about chess. So you can always ask chess questions when there's a stream, or yeah, but Twitter is difficult. No, I mean, you can always send people messages, and if they feel like answering, they will. It depends what your question is. It depends what information you want to find out. If it's chess related, I'm always willing to answer on stream. Okay, so we'll be back to this game. So Natalia against Shushanik. Hopefully I pronounced it correctly this time. Ooh, okay. Lots of trades in this game. Is this game gonna go for a draw? Oh, really? No. Anyone can send a message to someone. Rook b8, b3, I think. Or should we just play rook d2 or rook e2 like so and switch to one of those files? I think this is fine as well. White's position is pretty good. When I say pretty good, this game is kind of headed for a draw. Why is chess.com marking rook c7 as a mistake? Seems a bit too much. Was this an option or something? Maybe. Okay, these moves are not mistakes. I don't know what they are marked as mistakes on chess.com. Okay, now this move could be a mistake for sure because that diagonal opens up and white could get in somewhat of a trouble here. Can black play this move? And I'm threatening knight takes h3 potentially, or bishop takes g2 maybe. So let's just make some random move to see which one of these I'm threatening. Bishop takes checky. The problem is I don't see a way for black to bring in the rook, but I mean, I think we can probably just take and just get another pawn. So knight g5 looks really knight g5 played. Knight g5 played here. And if you take, now g2 is hanging and this pawn is hanging, so you don't have time to go knight f3. So you have to try knight e4. And here, maybe something like this. You know? Black is putting more pressure. It's interesting because the way the game started, it looked like white was going to put more some pressure, but now white stayed with the isolated pawn. Black has the bishop here. I mean, you remember that bishop was lost in c2. Black puts pressure in g2, h3. There's quite a lot of things going on there. Oh, Shernaz is struggling in this game. Knight f4. I wonder why she took with the pawn and not with the knight. Well, of course, this is an option, but we can always go rook d8, one of the rooks, maybe this one. And then move this over to e8, e7. F takes e6. Black remains with some weaknesses. I really was looking forward to this move, but the problem is this is a threat. So we need to move the rook away from there. Shernaz is kind of stuck now. She's going to lose this pawn too. Rook f7, I think knight takes e5. And white is up a pawn, and very nice placement of all the pieces. You don't expect to see this that early coming out of a Smith-Morra. Wow. Olga's still up a pawn. Queens were traded. Queens were traded. Yeah, I know the engine didn't like knight f5. I thought knight f5 is good, but what did we say was the move? Takes and bishop d2. This is not the kind of move you want to make. That's why Natalia seems to be a very good positional player. I really like how she usually, manages her games. But yeah, wing takers. Why do you want to contact me? I mean, this is like third time you're asking. Well, regarding what you want to contact me. What is your question? You can ask it in the chat. I'm always answering the chess related questions. We do have pressure here, and we do want potentially to go bishop g5, but okay, maybe she rushed with knight f5. Chess lover, hey. You don't have a question, you just want to know how to contact me? That seems a bit suspicious. Exactly. I'm talking to the chat. I don't think I'm trying to not say hi to anyone or not answer. Unless it's like I said, specific topics I don't address. I only address chess related things. Advice. And personal advice if it's related to chess. No sensitive topics will be addressed today or any day on the stream. No days, no sensitive topics, just chess related. White is threatening rook takes g5. A little bit of a trap there, but okay, rook g6 would just defend. I'm throwing books at you? What? Okay. I'm not sure what you mean. Thanks, Yer. I try. Knight e4. How many hats do I have? Probably 2, but I don't wear them. That's a question I can answer. Thanks, Just Lover. Appreciate it. Okay. Chess Lover has, for example, WIM Talkers. Chess Lover has been following me for how many years would you say, Chess Lover? Like 4 years, 3 years since I've been streaming, and has never asked me how to contact me. Have you, Chess Lover? Since 2016? Wait, what? I wasn't streaming in 2016. Okay. Maybe you saw me playing the US Championship. You've never asked me how to contact me. You're always asking me questions in chat. Okay, now I see how the question was phrased. I just actually literally thought of heads, but okay. Maybe you're talking about my personalities. You asked the question wrong. Sometimes I'm not thinking about, multiple meaning things. But anyways, do we like black's position? I think we do. Yes, yes. We met in DC. I got you brought me some food during stream. I think it was yogurt and some snacks, yeah. Something. I was streaming. It was longer than this tournament because I think it was 2 rounds a day and double time control, so like 90 plus 30 plus for 40 moves and then another 30 minutes, I believe, that tournament. I'm not a senior citizen yet, but my cat is a senior citizen, I would say. My cat is 9 years old, technically considered a senior. So, you think I'm in my 40s? Oh, should we do some bans on chat? I am not there yet. I'm not there yet. No bans happening. But no, I'm not there yet. So knight e4. Yeah, that was the move that I showed earlier, queen f4. So I guess Varenia's playing the same. The thing is, if we go rook e1 in this position, black's gonna start putting pressure on d4, and I do not know how white is going to defend that. No, it was a joke. It was a joke. I was saying I'm not yet 40. I'm still in my 30s. Thanks, Chess Lover. You haven't seen me play over the board yet, though, so you might change your opinion about being very down to earth. Very late 20s. Yeah, I wish. Okay. Yes, I am originally from Romania. Rook f6. So Shernaz did lose the pawn in e5, and now Natasha is gonna try to activate her rook here, and then double up. Try to get g7. She could also try potentially f3 and then king f2, bringing the king a bit, or maybe h4, g3. But that would allow knight h3, maybe not, and then f4. You played a game in a tournament I played? When? I don't remember seeing you on since when did I see 2022 maybe? So Angelina went for 92. She wants to play 94. So if you play bishop c5, 94, okay, still possible. But I think black can consider taking, and then knight c6. And this pawn will be in trouble. I would like bishop c5 here. I actually think knight c6 works nice too. Controlling the center, attacking that pawn. And black might even consider long castle. You know why? It comes in with check. The king can go to b7 to cover the a pawn. And that's going to make it easy for the other rook to come into play. I actually would like that move to be played, knight c6 here. Yes, I can speak 4 languages fluently. In 2014, 2014. Did I play in 2014? Maybe with Elshan. Maybe I did. Are you sure it's 2014 and not 2011 or 2012? I guess 14, but I don't remember if I played in 14. It was in October that year? Ah, okay. Because yeah, in 14 I played in US Masters, and then I played in the Olympiad. First Olympiad, then US Masters, and then I moved to Texas. And then, okay, no, I believe you. I mean, I've played a lot of tournaments. Sometimes I don't remember which years. I mean, especially if it's the same tournament in multiple years. 96, well played by Olga. Olga's really, really doing well here, both extra pawn, better time management, and really good position. I mean, better development too. Okay, Shushanik is still thinking. I wonder if Jennifer is trying to play for a win. Because why would she play a5? I would be more inclined to play d5 instead, to try to create a pass pawn here. But okay, a5. Is she trying to go a5, a4, or not quite sure what that move is? Pisahane, hey. These ratings are their FIDE ratings. I think their UCF is a bit higher. These are the FIDE ratings. And some of these players have not played in many years. So this is the third year that we have the US Women's Senior Chess Championships. The past 2 years, they were sponsored by Precision Tune Auto Care, and really wonderful organization by Maureen and David Grimond. I really enjoy being here on site and seeing the players, and the location is nice. There's the players are provided with a lot of snacks to help them during the game, which is always a very nice touch. I mean, how many tournaments provide snacks? A lot of snacks. I got some nice snacks for myself too. Yeah, no, it's beautifully organized, and I know, delicious snacks. Talking about snacks, maybe I should take a break and go get more. But yeah. I see, Just Lover. Snacks are delicious. I was very excited about these. I found, okay, I should not show it on stream. I should not advertise any brand, but I found these things at Costco, and I asked if we could get some, and Maureen was very kind to buy some for the players, and then I took some myself. I have one. I can't wait in the break. I'll definitely be having this protein bar that I don't know. I think it's pretty good. Everyone needs snacks. That's right. That's right. Everyone needs snacks. I'm not gonna have dinner. No, I'll have dinner maybe once the game finishes. But looking at the reviewing the invitational um, part of the tournament and reading what the criteria for for sharing first place is, I realized that once the games are over, there will be a blitz, and there's likely to be a blitz. I think there's a big chance that we could actually have a blitz. Um, I see a decisive result on board two in my mind, if you ask me, and then I see either a decisive result or a draw on board one, in which case there will be two players with 4 points, and there will be a tie break. So we will be staying here longer. We'll see. I'll probably take a break and then see if I need to, if they're playing, if I need to stream it or yeah. I played in tournaments in Toronto where TDs brought sandwiches and sold them really cheap. Yeah, a lot of tournaments do that. So that's why I'm saying it's fantastic the organization of this tournament, and there are a few others that do that, but I think this is really wonderful for the players to have access to snacks and healthy snacks. Some of them maybe are not so healthy, but some of them are healthy and good for the brain during a game. To take a small break, go to the bathroom, wash your face, get a snack, and then just come back with more energy. I think a lot of the times we get tired and we don't even realize that we are tired because we're so much into the game. But they say you lose a lot of energy during a game because you're calculating a lot, you're using your brain power, kind of like a computer, right? The CPU is working, and we do need some energy, whether it is fruit, chocolate, coffee, water. During a game, I usually drink water. I don't drink other things. When I was younger, maybe I was drinking Coca-Cola or something. Occasionally, I drink coffee, but most of the time, it is just water. During a game, personally. When I stream, obviously, you've seen me with coffee a lot of times, so I can't lie and say that I only drink water. I lost that opportunity a long time ago. But when I play, I try to not drink coffee. Maybe tea, but coffee I try not to, unless, let's say, I haven't had a good night's sleep or I prepared too much and I feel out of energy. I think during a game, it's nice to, snack-wise, to really help you freshen your memory, or like just feel refreshed. Dark chocolate, banana, potentially, and more recently, I've become a huge fan of dates with walnuts. So, like, you can have a date and a walnut or a pecan, and they have more calories than any other snack, right? But just the combination of the two together actually can provide a lot of energy. Also, during a day, you feel tired, you're working a lot, and you have the tendency to want to go to the kitchen and grab anything you find, especially if you're hungry, for a snack. If you have unhealthy snacks at home, you might want to do that. But if you feel that you need something, I think the date with a walnut is a great combination for the brain specifically. So that is my unrequested suggestion for those of you who care about it. I don't think orange juice is a good idea during game, or at all in general. You're losing a lot of the actual fiber from the orange if you drink a juice instead of eating the fruit. This is a Swiss tournament, a 5 rounds Swiss tournament, 10 players were invited. and it's a 5-round tournament. Rook e5 and f4. Rook f5 and f4? What rook f5? She did play this. I guess she was attracting the move a4 for white when she played a5, and now she's gonna bring the rook to b4 and put pressure. She has some ideas to try to play for win. She's technically the higher rated player, so who knows? Maybe she'll have some chances. Yeah, knight a6 is gonna get the knight trapped there. So, but if you go knight e2, is this an option? Keeping the pressure? I think so. Black is playing very good this game. Very good. Okay, the players have gotten into a knight endgame. You know what they say about knight endgames, right? Knight endgames are the same as king and pawn endgames. So if the king and pawn endgame is winning, you should imagine that the knight endgame is winning for the same color as well. But you always have to be careful because still knights have the tendency to jump around and try to win some material. So you have to be cautious about that. Exactly. Okay. So guys, I think it's about time for me to take a short break. This is the most interesting game, in my opinion. It's also very interesting for the standings. So I will be pausing the camera, as you know. Okay, everyone. Am I back? Hello? What's going on with the, am I not live? Okay, everyone. Yeah, I'm live. Okay, I panicked there for a second. I was like, hello? What's going on? Something wrong? It wasn't showing up when I put the video. It took a little bit of time. Hello. What is hello? Like, why would I say hello? Oh my goodness. Sometimes, you know, you are so focused on what you need to do that I am back. Yeah, it took a bit longer. I asked my friend to go check in on when they're going to play the blitz in case it's a tie. I want to know those things, and then also, of course, about the Armageddon. I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Apologies in advance. You know, I have still some things that I'm pronouncing with my Romanian accent. But I wanted to find out what exactly time control that will be, because it's not written in the prospect and the flyer of the tournament. At least I didn't see it. Exactly. I should start singing. But you know, without anyways, my singing voice is not good. Imagine without music in the background, it's even worse. But anyways, those things happen on my channel, so you know, if you wanna hear my my terrible singing, occasionally gotta follow my channel, and I will be back to streaming shortly on my channel. Voice is back, which is, thank God. I'm very thankful. I had my moments of losing the voice, but anyways. All right. So it looks like since we left off, Angelina played the move f4 to protect e5. I think that makes sense. Bishop c5 is not really liked by the engine for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. It's like g3, bishop g2, maybe no. King c2 or something, maybe. But Angelina played bishop a3. Olga decided to castle short. I was thinking long castle. Genuinely thinking that this would be great. King g7, double up. I mean, the king is nice there to cover a7, so we can always move the knight eventually, and we can try to support the potential passed pawn. But short castle is fine too, and we have this position where I would say black enjoys a very comfortable pawn-out position. The only thing I'm not fond of is this bishop in b5. So I hope she does find a way to improve it. I mean, ideally, if we could do something like this, I think black would be doing relatively fine, but then we would go away from d4. That's why I really would have liked long castle, but we can still place the rooks on the d file, maybe double up on the d file, maybe a6, and the bishop would be like a pawn in a way, but waiting for white's rook to move away, and then we'll have bishop a4. Okay, there are some ideas. There are certainly some ideas here, but overall, looking at the position, I'd say it's relatively black is for choice. So what have we had in this position after e takes f5? Natalia's focused on the attack. What's wrong with this move? I wonder if white should have played f6 first, and then if bishop takes. Actually, maybe we can win a piece here. a4 or queen e4 first, threatening mate, and now a4 maybe, because that knight is pinned and then deflecting the rook, and then we take, right? So I'm getting an answer now. Yes, so I was right. So for the Armageddon, it will be 5-4 black gets draws. And I'm asking when they would play in case we have this tiebreak going on. Don't you guys like this? Yeah, clearance, right, Chuslover? I mean, clearance, this is nice, right? Queen e4. Queen e4 is a bit too soon because I think maybe... wait a second. I can still go here. So why does the engine not like Queen e4 first? Rook f8. And now if you go a4, now there's knight takes c3. No, but then we have queen... Queen where? I was gonna say this, but she goes back. Is it f6? Bishop takes, queen f5? We have something even better. Bishop h6 maybe? g6. And then takes. I see. Okay, so Natalia missed the move order, right? But this would have been really nice. So f6 first. Bishop takes. Okay, if knight takes, then we can take this pawn. And the way the position opens up, it's kind of nice for white. Bishop f4, bishop there, right? Okay, I don't think we can go knight takes c3 because of the same idea, but we can go knight f6, yeah. Knight f6, and now wherever you move the queen, the rook will be moving. So this is how black escapes. Okay. Wow. Totally unexpected. It was there. Oh. What did Alexey do? The position was relatively balanced. Oh no. Oh no, she forgot about the d-pawn. And now it's a problem. Now black is taking over. Oh, this is tough. Those two pawns, they just marched together. Oh, I feel for Alexey. She had a good game. She was slightly better out of the opening. The black had the weakness in d6, but now she just dropped the rook, and oh, this is tough. Tough for her, good for Jennifer. You know how it is in chess. One person's unfortunate situation, another person's luck. Or some kind of saying like that. Feel free to tell me what's the correct one, and I'll try to remember it for next time. One person's this is how we say it in Romanian, and I think I heard it in English too, but one person's misfortune, another person's luck. No, I mean, I did like what she did with the rook there. I don't know about this a4. Why was a4 necessary? I mean, I'd rather keep the pawn in b3 personally. I wonder if this would have worked. So my approach is, okay, let's say you play like d5 or something, right? I wonder if I can go, I don't know if I need g3 or not, or just go f4. I just want to test my idea out a bit. Or even this. But this probably loses, because even if you check, not here, because maybe there will be some ideas with b3 or king b3 something. I don't know. But you can go back somewhere, and then whenever we take, black is gonna check and then win that pawn. So you have to be very careful on how you're doing things in this situation. Sometimes the position is just a draw, yeah. No, but the a4 has been weakening White's camp, definitely. It was definitely a weakening move. And the rook's coming in. She could have just gone... She could have just gone back, I think, rook h1. Unless black was planning to do something like this, but she can't cover that yet, like that. This would be fine, probably, for... No, because that would take... What about this? Or what about this, to try to take here? See, that's why I would have liked to have the chance to play b3 instead of having this pawn backwards. Oh, this is tough. Yeah, because once this happens, rook b4 is a threat, or d4, rook b3, rook takes b2 is a threat, and now the a5 pawn is not as valuable, and you get your rook stuck, and the d and c pawns, they just march together, and there's not so much you can do about it. Yeah. Yeah, this will be game over for Alexey, unfortunately. Burning heat. Let's go back. You have a nice idea there with, you think a3, b4? So, but then if you go a3, maybe a4 would happen? So it's not so easy. Only maybe earlier in the game if she would have done it, but I would rather keep b3. I'm thinking maybe just keep the pawn to b3 instead. I'm a bit surprised by that move. Wait, sorry. I'm a bit surprised by this move. Rook c6. It's a bit passive. You know what I want to play, don't you? This is a move I want to play. It's not working, but I want to play it. If I could, I would love to play this move. And I would love to checkmate, but there's not even a checkmate here because white can go back. And you have a beautiful check, and that's about it. It's game over. Anyways, always looking for an angle to make some tactical ideas, to show some tactical ideas. You're right, Burning Heat. Yeah. I was trying to find a plan, but I think earlier in the game, earlier white messed up because white was better in that game earlier, and yeah. I agree with you. So we're not going for rook c5, okay? That was just some idea I showed. I would have loved for it. Oh, but wait, maybe you can go for it. Nah, the rook comes to h4. Okay, Sabina, stop sacrificing the pieces. I know they're not yours, but still. What do we want to play here? With black, if not rook c6. What about this kind of idea? Would it be too much to expect to play something like this? That seems like a nice attacking idea for black. I mean, weakening white's king side, you know, just seems cool. Ah, she did it now. Okay. She's doing it now. So she just wanted to cover b6. In a way, I understand. I am sort of materialistic too in chess. Not in life, but in chess. So I see the point in trying to save that. This... Yeah, h5, h4 is a very nice approach. Natasha is on her way to win this game, and I feel for sure now she plays well. She just Was a bit too aggressive this tournament. Okay. So rook a8 was played, king c1. And what can we expect here for black? Doubling up on the file, right? But what's the right location? Rook d2? Rook d7? Rook d5, maybe bishop g2? Is a5 an idea for black? And wait for bishop g2 and then try to double on the file? Or maybe go a4 first? And I would love to do something like this. Yeah, so in this position, black has to play knight f6. She has two moves, knight takes c3 and knight f6, but knight c3 allows this move. Queen g4 followed by bishop h6, so she cannot do it. She needs to go there, yeah. What would you say is the best placement for white's queen? e3 or e2? Or h4? Maybe e2, as the rook goes back, we can capture an e5. e2, yeah. Black is still thinking. This game is almost over. First two boards are the most intriguing, of course, from the point of view of the standings, but also, you know, just in general. Is Shoshanik wondering, like, what happens after knight c3? I'm a bit confused because there's no other moves. Am I missing any other move here for black? Other than, like, these two moves? Maybe she's having trouble evaluating which one of the two resulting positions is not so. Yeah, like, I think those are the only two, right? The rook is hanging, and if you move it, you lose the knight, and there's no way to trap the queen in d5. So I do not know why she's spending quite a bit of time here deciding, and I think you should play knight f6 fast. If you allow queen g4 f6, imagine queen g4 bishop h6, it's just over. There's nothing else to do there. Knight g2. Should I go rook c1 or rook c2 here? Actually, I like this move. I don't think it's good, but I just kind of like the idea of trying to get that rook. Another, I was gonna say this is another idea that I have in this position. Trade queens. And listen, the bishop is better than the knight. There's an isolated pawn. There's the ability for black to activate the rook. It's just like really, really good for black. I'm liking black's position, but it's hard to imagine any kind of attack going on anymore now that the knight is in g2 and covers h4. So I don't know that we want to play g5 and weaken our own king. It might not be leading too much after queen d3. We can go back to g7 or g8, but why would we try that way? You can just try to trade the queens, right? Yeah, fianchetto knights are usually not ideal, not ideal pieces to have, right? But anyways, it's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Shernaz might be trying to bring in the knight to try to attract this pawn push and then go behind the pawn like this, knight h2, knight f1, try to create some counterplay here. The king is supposed to stop that pawn, but white should be able to find her way to win. Normally knight e4 going for this pawn should be helpful. What else have we had here? King c1, rook d7. So I guess Olga's not going for our idea, chess lover. Like our idea was a5, a4, right? So she's not going for that for some reason. I don't know. a5. I mean, maybe here there's a potential way of grabbing the. Oh, sorry, this rook is hanging. My bad. Not yet. Not yet. This rook is hanging. But wait a second. Could we try rook d3 here first? I like rook d3 first. So my plan after rook d3 is going to be a5. Maybe black can also make a luft, h6 or h5. and then switch over to the rook here. Why not, right? I'd love for those ideas to work. Right? That would be nice. That would be very nice. Rook d3. Step-by-step improvement, right? Oh! Oh! Ooh la la! We did not expect this. I did not. That's why I was surprised she was still thinking. She must have missed queen g4. She must have missed it. She played knight takes c3. Knight f6, Shoshanik. Okay, but now bishop h6. You just GG. You can't do this because bishop g7 and f6. GG. If you play g6, you lose the exchange. Or maybe I have even better. I mean, maybe I take, and then I take, and then I mate. Obviously not forcing, but you know me. I want to show mate on the board. It's my, if I have a something that I do a lot are positional games where there's a restriction of the opponent, and mates. They're my favorite to show. Olga is making this an exciting final round. What is her record against Angelina? It is not very good, unfortunately, her record. She has lost a lot of her. They didn't play as much, but I had the pleasure of interviewing Natalia, and I highly recommend checking out my podcast on YouTube. I think, let's see, class in session. Why wouldn't I promote it? Oh, that's not the command? Oh, I'm disappointed, Sabina. I don't remember your commands. 1 second. Ah. What is my command? Maybe it's Sabina. I have a special one. Yes, check out the YouTube link there. Special link. Sabina has a special command. Check out that podcast. Be sure to subscribe to stay notified when videos are being posted on your channel, specifically mine. If you enjoy my commentary. I'm doing this podcast called Class in Session. Next year, you can expect 12 podcasts for sure. Maybe there will be 2 more this year. We'll see how things are going, but highly recommend to check them out. And my latest one was published a few weeks ago. I did an interview with Natalia, and I was asking her about her upbringing, how she got into chess and all these things. And then, this time around, I also talked to her a little bit. And, for her, the most memorable moment of her career was actually last year. Last year when she was able to win against Angelina in their this tournament encounter, and that's how Natalia has become the U.S. Women's Senior Champion last year. And she mentioned to me that her results with Angelina in the past were not very good. And that was the first time she won, and even if the game was not maybe perfectly played, just the possibility of her, like it just meant so much to her to be able to win. So yeah. I didn't typo. I didn't somehow. But no, the US Chess does create 3 different podcasts, and highly recommend checking all of them out. And let me give a shout out to the other guys too, so that you don't think it's all about me. Let's see. There they are. Oh, I did have a command. I just didn't work the first time. All right. So there are 3 podcasts: Beyond the Board, One Move at a Time, and Class in Session. Out of those 3, which one do you think is my favorite? I should not have asked that question. Okay, so check them out. Don't ask me to answer that question. Bishop h6, and Natalia's on her way to having a very good, very, very good position. Okay. It's not mine. It's not mine. Okay, I'm not. No, it's not mine. Okay. No. I don't watch my videos. I don't like to watch my own work as much unless I'm trying to check if I have improved, like the way I'm talking or the way I'm asking the questions, whether I have patience, things like that. I might go back and watch a little bit, but no, I'm not. Promise. It's not. Okay. I take it back. I get to take back. I have no idea what question I asked. Nobody, please do not clip that, because if Brian sees that, yeah, it will not be a good idea. Please don't do it. Okay, so thanks, Just Lover. Sometimes I gotta laugh at my own jokes. Sometimes my mind thinks faster than no. My voice speaks before thinking sometimes. When I write, though, I think much faster than I write, so that's very interesting. Anyways, do we call this? We can call it. Like, if you try to save the rook, can I show another cute mate? I'm gonna go bishop g7, not queen, because I like mates without the queen. I feel for Shoshanik missing queen g4. I think she missed queen g4. Okay, so this is game over. Tough loss for Alexey, but she played a good game. Be sure to check out Chess Live online to get the latest update on the tournament, the final thoughts on the last round. What do we have over here? Yeah, I couldn't see any defense in that position. Okay, so Varinia is bringing the queen back into play, I see. d5. Probably white is trying to somehow get some activity for the rooks. I think it makes sense. So if you play rook c5, would white go queen d7 or queen takes b6? Probably queen b6, and we can have this kind of a position. But wait, do we have this tactic now? We do. We do have this tactic. So maybe we have to be a bit cautious with black in this position. We can't just play anything we want, but Shernaz is trying to to somehow hold this position, but it's very difficult. She does have some ideas, but it's going to be difficult. Rook e1. So probably the reason it's marked as a mistake is the placement of these two pieces, right? And the knight, we just need to figure out a way to get the knight there, which is not easy, of course. I don't really see a way for the knight to get there. I want to say I want this move to be played, but the problem is there'll be bishop takes, because now the rook it being gone from the diagonal, we will have the idea to take the knight, and the bishop is not attacking the rook in h1. Oh, very nice, Kanti. He became the world chess boxer, right? World champion chess boxer, I think. He's a pretty nice guy. What is a good plan for black here? Is g5 creating any kind of ideas now? We have no threats. What about knight here? Oh, you go here, never mind. But I just don't see a way to stop bishop takes c6. How can we stop bishop takes c6? Maybe we just don't care. We just go rook d3. And then if you take, rook d5? Wait. You wanna sack the exchange in order to be able to take with the pawn or something? But come on. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? No, rook d3. Okay. Rook d3 takes. Should we go bishop f3 or should we go rook e3? Bishop f3 I like. I'm threatening bishop takes and then takes. So if you go back to try to cover, we have rook e3 and we're winning material. And if you try to do, I don't even know, I'm threatening rook d2. Like rook e3 or rook d2. If you try to cover here, I wonder how this rook endgame would be if I do take an e2 and c3. This might be a draw. So we need to try to improve the situation here. How can we improve? There must be a good move here for black. Ah, you know what? What if we go rook e3, followed by rook d3, and then we're starting to take and then take, and that way we will actually have the ability to trade the rook the way we actually want to. So maybe something like this would give black the nice initiative, the nice way to play for a win. She played 97. Oh. I thought this is a nice improvement. She probably doesn't want her knight to be captured, but yeah, okay, it's just I don't like 94. I don't like 94 at all. Like it's just basically what white wants. And it's a natural move. I'm sure Algerina will play it immediately. I don't know, unless she wants to play ace 6. But what are you gonna do? Knight f5 or g6, knight f5, try to trade? Maybe that could work too, but you're losing a bit of the edge. Oh, look at that. g6, f takes g6. There must be some kind of a defense for black. I don't see it. But lots of things are hanging here. Tough moment for Shushanik because there's no way. There's no way. Okay, so black is still thinking here, but I did suggest to capture rook c5, and I think both of them are pretty good. The only thing is after rook c5 probably... Oh, but wait, that doesn't work. That does not work. What if we go rook c1? Maybe we can take once and then rook c1. The idea is, of course, to take the rook. So if you protect it... How do we improve here? Rook c5? Rook c5. Takes and takes. So black has two options, and I think both of them are relatively good, so either one is fine. Okay, finally a6 was played, and now Shernaz could go to grab the pawn immediately, or maybe attempt knight g4. But knight g4 takes, knight f4, and then once this pawn is captured, white is going to have two pawns. So this is maybe black's best chance to try to play for a draw, but it might be a bit too late. Yep, as I told you, knight d4 was played relatively instantaneously. a6, bishop e4. Bishop takes g6. Let's go. Let's go. Beautiful finish. Here, after bishop takes g6. I don't really see a way for black to survive this. Oh, rook c5 directly, but I did mention that this is not the most ideal situation, but she does need to go rook c1. I hope she does not go for this because this will not be fun. And Mary is quite aggressive. She likes tactics, so I have a feeling if that move were to be made, she's going to find it. And that game could end in a draw. Actually, in this position, could white also play queen d7? Jestful, hey, how are you doing? How's everything going for you? Rook c7, nice. Hmm. I think this poses some trouble for black and gives black the ability to make a mistake playing rook takes. And even after pawn takes, we have the ability to activate the rook. So I think, like, between those two, I'd go queen takes b6. But of course, rook c1 is really nice, so. Fed the cat. Was the cat nice? Did the cat eat? Scratched some furniture? The usual? Oh no, queen d7. I really want to queen takes b6. No? The cat only cares about getting fed or getting attention. I see. uh, that's funny. Funny should say that. It's a demanding cat in that case. Very demanding cat. How do I feel about, oopsie, this trade? I'm not feeling good for black. Bishop takes, rook takes, and now what happens? Okay. Okay, Chessful. Rook d5. I have a plan. I don't know how good it is, but trying to bring in the king somewhere here and then taking might be an interesting idea for black to consider. Might be. But, you know, black has lost some of the advantage because look at this. This is a good knight. That bishop isn't doing anything else other than defending. And this knight stops black's rooks, and that's why this position tends to be slightly better for, only slightly better for black. It's just kind of, the advantage is kind of gone. Bishop d8, okay. What's the fastest way to win in this position? Should we go bishop e4 check? Oh, you know what? This is cute. This is so cute. Bishop f7. You can't go to h8 because, you know, something in g7 mates. So king takes, queen g7 checky. You can come here. If you go there, probably like check and something. Anyways, check and something, you know. Or maybe no check, just takes. This is really cute. Maybe we have something even better than that. Maybe queen f5 check is even better, because that way there's no king e6. So the king actually has to go to e7 or e8, and then we take, and yeah, this looks really cute for white. She played bishop h5. Okay, that works too. King h8, bishop takes probably is gonna be played. So we have a big chance for potential tiebreak here. By the way, like white is winning in this game, and here, if it's a draw or if black wins, then we are going to have a tiebreak. If white somehow manages to win this position, then we will have no tiebreak, and Angelina will be declared this year's U.S. Women's Senior Champion. So queen d7 was played a bit too soon. Queen takes b6 had to be played. And there was this really cute tactical idea, once again, for those of you who missed it. Then if the pawn takes, then I was thinking rook e7 and get some activity. Rook e8 is also an option, but rook e7 looked relatively nice. And then if the rook was going to take, I really like this rook takes e6 idea, because you know me and trying to find some tactical patterns. Pawn takes, and then queen b7. So my morning training have bared some fruit in a way. I've been adding a bit of chess for myself, some calculation exercises. So I'm feeling good about what I found here. I dropped a couple of pieces, but yeah. Chessful. Yes, there are only 5 rounds in this tournament. 5 rounds. 10 players, 5-round tournament, and in case of a tie, depends on how many players tie for first, but at this point we can only have 2, so the players who tie for first, or 1, but you know, so if the players tie for first, then there will be a match, 2 3+2 minute games, and if it's 1-1, then there will be an Armageddon game. White gets 5 minutes, but black gets 4 and draw odds to declare the champion. So it looks like this line actually happened, but should not be very difficult for white to win this position. Just move the knight and start pushing the h-pawn, and then the g will follow shortly. Tiebreakers should be 10. I know, that would be amazing. Yes. For those of you who don't know, Fischer came up with this idea with the clock of 10 seconds. So you had to make a move in 10 seconds. And, you know, if you didn't, and so like you have 10 seconds to make a move, right? And if you don't make the move in 10 seconds, you lose. But then as soon as you make the move, whether you make it in 1 second or 9 seconds, for the next move, you'll also have 10 seconds. So you always have 10 seconds to make a move. If you make it faster, it's not going to add any time to you or anything. It's just, you know. And I thought that was really fun to play. And I definitely would love to see some trainings done like that, or maybe some games. It would be definitely really, really fun. He didn't come up with the idea. Oh, sorry. I thought he made a clock like that, no? Didn't he actually make a clock? I thought he made a clock. Are you sure he didn't make a clock, Justin? With the 10 seconds? He was just training like that? Oh, you had to wait 10 seconds? I'm pretty sure I played less than 10 seconds. Oh, yes, you're right. You had to wait 10 seconds and make a move. And then you had this beep going on, and then, yeah, sorry. Long day. Yeah, you'll have to forgive me. Yeah. I have to play that again. I want to play that again. The players are approaching, time trouble. Anything can happen. What's it gonna happen? I want to play some of those games too. But I think now, can black just take? I don't think there's gonna be anything special going on there. The bishop just covers h8 and black's up 2 pawns now. That's why the pawn in b6 had to be captured. I think. That's how I think the idea should have been for white. Queen d8 was played, bishop g5, yeah. I'm surprised Natasha's bringing the king first. I mean, she could have just moved the knight and pushed the h-pawn. Okay, she's moving the knight now. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, I think she's played more tournaments, but she hasn't done very well. She's playing quite aggressively, and sometimes it's tough to do that. I remember I had a period in my career, when I was younger, where I really wanted to play for the attack all the time, but I completely forgot about positional principles, and I would start just pushing the pawns forward without thinking what I'm leaving behind, what squares I was leaving behind, that I was weakening my king, whether I had sufficient pieces that could come back up those pawns that were advancing forward. And I don't know why, I was just like really in kind of a mode that I felt this is the way you should play, this is the way you have to go. And oh, chessful. So no, these are the FIDE ratings. In FIDE, there's no floor in FIDE. These are the FIDE ratings. I don't know what her USCF rating is. I don't know their USCF ratings. I haven't checked. So these are the FIDE ratings, not the USCF. Yeah. FIDE should have rating floors? Why? I don't know how I feel about rating floors. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. Let's have that discussion one day. How I feel about rating floors. Because now I don't know. And I don't want to say something bad. Something. Yeah. This is certainly the most exciting game to see. I mean, until this game finishes, we will not know whether we have a tiebreak. So, you know, I know what rating floor means. Just full. I know what rating floor means. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I'm cool with it or not. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know what I feel about it. But I'll think about it so we can have that conversation another time. When I was a kid, I thought rating floors were to prevent people from sandbagging and then winning best under prizes they didn't deserve. I see. I see. You make a great point. Burning Heat. And Chessful agrees with you, I think. And I understand the idea. I just don't want to take a stance on US Chess Channel about that. Because I'm not sure what my answer would be. But you make a good point. You make a good point about why the floors are there. Okay. I never thought about it, to tell the truth, because like I'm still trying to improve my own rating, my own knowledge, my improvement in general, like getting more knowledge. So I never thought about that. I'm always thinking of how I gain more rating, know how I can lose more. So that's why I never had that, into consideration. I've always looked at things in a different fashion, I guess. I didn't get to the point where I was thinking, oh, I want to have this floor. If I hope it makes sense. So that's why I have no opinion. I don't like g4. Olga's putting another pawn on white. Does she want to try to do h5, h4? But what if white plays king e4 and then f5? Ah, king e4, can I play f5? But white is okay here. Okay, Natalia is on her way to win this. She's up a rook and a pawn. In Varenia's game, queen b8 was played by Mary, and now well, you have to remember this is the US Women's Senior Championships, and they might have had a higher rating at some point in time. So it's also, you can get titles by winning Pan American or North American championships or finishing top 3. You can also get titles from those tournaments. So keep that in mind for this specific tournament. But for others too, like a lot of kids get titles from the continental championships, different continental championships, whether it's European, Asian, African, and so on. Okay, that's a potential debate we can have, sure. I like how Natasha's placed the knight here and now the king, so that there's no way for Black's king to enter and stop those pawns. I feel for sure now. She was very positive going into the tournament. I had the chance to talk to her before, and she seemed ready. She said she's done a little bit of training and had a really tough tournament. I hope she bounces back from it. And Shernaz will also be publishing a book very soon, so stay on the look for that book on Bobby Fischer. So hopefully you guys get the chance to check it out once it comes out. Okay, we know that game will be over soon. Varinia is determined to convert this game against Mary. Something like this would be nice for Black, of course. I also think this move is kind of cute because we're threatening to take, but also we might want to take in e1 and then rook c2 and then try to hit f2 as well. So I like the move rook c1 in this position for Black. I don't know what Varinia is going to choose here, but I do like the move rook c1 or rook c2. Just putting additional pressure, And I did really enjoy this pawn push because it just weakened the position quite a bit, This is nice. This is a nice touch, bringing the king in the center, because with the king in e4, we keep the knight covered, so Black never really has the opportunity to grab the knight and try to, support those pawns on the queen side. I was actually thinking of this move, but knight takes does protect the rook. If that rook wasn't protected, this would be a really cute move, right? Because if you couldn't take, and then we would have a discovery and everything. But of course, knight takes c6 just wins the game, so that's not an option. Should Black consider h5, h4, and trying to infiltrate from the other side of the board? The only thing Black has to be mindful about, like, for example, let's just move this rook for a second. This is a problem. So you cannot really do that. You have to be very careful not to play that move. Especially with the king in e4, because the rook is under attack. So it gets to be a very important position there. Okay, Varinia's still thinking. Natalia's still playing. And we're waiting for a move in this position. If I were to ask you a question about who do you think is going to win this tournament, what would you say at this moment in time? What would you say? Beats me, okay. Well, we have Angelina with 3.5. We have Olga Segalchik with 3. And then we have Natalia with 3 and Shushanika Rapetian with 3. Now, Natalia is winning, so she's going to score 4. And the question is, what's going to happen on this board? Which result will we have? Now, obviously, Black was enjoying a really nice position before she allowed this knight to go to d4 and block the file. So that's made the best queen win. Oh, yeah, that's a good one for sure. That is a good one. You don't care about who wins the tournament. Aye. I thought you would care if I would win a tournament. You wouldn't care if I would win a tournament? Chessful. I see. It's because I don't play any tournaments, that's why. Exactly. I knew you were gonna say that, so I said it before, right before you typed it. Because there's a small delay, so of course I get the chance to think it through. I will play in some tournaments soon. You just need to. Never too late to join the US Masters. I haven't trained enough to be able to play that tournament. It's very strong, and I haven't trained enough. But who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind and I'll just go. Yeah, US Masters is definitely a very tough tournament. Do you think Black's gonna play h4? But then if you play h4, can I take? And maybe she wants to play rook g2. I would love to just really this f5 idea. I would love to do that. And then maybe go e5 and try to open up a file to infiltrate with the rooks, because really you don't have a way. Now, obviously, when you play f5, king e3 is an option. And then probably king f7 has to be played and just kind of bring the king on the other side of the board. Go. Is that something you're saying to me about the US Masters? Yeah, Sam Shankland also made the quarterfinals. It's quite impressive. I know Sam has had some tough tournaments lately, and it's nice to see him get forward that much. I mean, he took out Dubov today, so very nice. I didn't even know I wore the Team USA jacket representing. I found out after, so that was really nice. I need to catch up with the games too. I was kind of being lazy and I was just catching up with the results. I haven't fully looked at all of the games, which I think I'm gonna do very soon. I need to catch up with a lot of games. It would be nice to have you know, another US player joining. He has played well. He has written a book on endgames, didn't he? So I feel like he might write another one, or maybe he did. I know the Rook one. I don't know if he did another one. Okay, so h4 has been played. Mate in 11. It shows mate in 11. How is the mate in 11? Good luck finding it. Maybe rook g3. Wait, what? How is it possible? It said mate in 11, and when I play rook g3, it said mate in 6. Aww. It's tricking us. This bar is tricky. It's so tricky. No, I did not. Don't remind me, Trustful, okay? Do not remind me. So when I put rook g3, it says mate in 6. But when you're looking here, it says, oh, that it maybe just says plus 11 or something. Oh, it shows eventually, okay. I know, it's just like, Sabina, come on. You're strong enough. Let me trick you for a bit, see if you can do better than me. That's cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the engine actually says. As I told you guys many times, I'm doing dashboard. So when you do dashboard, you don't see what's underneath this board. I only see until, like, below here, there's the move. Below this name, there's a move that was played, the last move, and then that's it. So the actual engine is right underneath the board. So I escaped that situation. I'm not looking at the engine. I like that, actually, much better than looking at it. It gets distracted. Distracting, apologies. Queen b5. Oops. Natasha has to be a bit careful with her wind here. Why did she allow the king? Why did she allow the king to go there? This seems quite easy, no? Go, Natasha. We have 11 years. I wonder who you are. Could you be a Rost? No. You mentioned the Mora in this game in Mark's tennis stream, and he's watching? Was Mark watching? Oh, she probably was watching the game, not my stream. Sad. You're just some old Canadian musician. Got you. Okay. Or maybe you're just lying to me. It won't be the first time someone lies to me. It was a very nice game played by Natasha, I gotta say. Oh no, Olga messed up. Why is this a mistake? Okay, Natasha won. Nice one, Natasha. Natalia. Natalia won. Natalia won. So we have this game. We have 3 games remaining. Oh no, Rook H8 allowed F. I told you about Rook H8. Oh my god, now I see. Oh no. I told you that's the only thing that black should not play. That was the only thing that black should not play. Oh my god. Sabina, commentator's curse. Uh, commentator's curse. Okay, so he's streaming tennis, okay. Oh no, Olga. Olga rushed. But she still has more time than. I mean, I'm not, I'm just like, she had a good position, so now it's tough. She has to meet this f5, which is very unpleasant. Because now she has to drop that pawn. So. Now white could be headed for a win here. Rook h8 was a bit too soon. Was played a bit too soon. So Natalia won a very beautiful game. Well done, Natalia. So did Jennifer. Very, very nice way to outplay her opponent, actually. That was probably a tough loss for Alexey, because she really had a good position, and maybe it was just tough. And Natasha is on her way to win this, and then I'm a bit surprised of the choice to trade the queens, because I think black might still have potential attacking ideas here. So in this position, black took in e1. I wonder. Oh, we can't do that. This pawn is hanging. Ah, sorry, this drops the bishop. I don't really see a way. I guess she took, but Bishop f6 I like too, so I wonder how I can put more pressure. Maybe queen f3 could be an idea, and then keep that covered and then bring in the rook. Maybe something like this would have worked. Yeah, after queen d7, I think white needs to take there, and then basically go rook d1, or maybe knight f4, and then try to block that pawn potentially, or maybe b4 first. Actually, I don't want to give up the pawn, apologies. So let's just go b4 first, and then we're going to block the pawn or bring in the knight here. The knight will block the pawn, protect this one, and then white should have some chances to draw that position. It's true that white won the a pawn, but I think maybe bishop f6 first and then push could work. Or rook c4 actually looks... Oh, rook c4, queen takes c4, apologies. I am getting a bit tired. I should have taken another break. But I'm waiting to see what's happening on those boards. Like, okay. So this happened. Rook d1. Okay, activity is important. Check. King h6. Wait, what? Angelina went for rook b takes b5? Why? Why was that necessary? She can also do this. I mean, it's about the same, but why does she need to sack the exchange? What exactly is black's threat? Why can't she just push? Because then check can be met with rook e2. I'm surprised. Is she trying to get a draw? I mean, she can get a perpetual basically here, right? So king h6 and then check, and maybe she wants to go for the Armageddon. Sorry, for the match. Or maybe she doesn't know that's the criteria of... maybe she thinks it's direct victory, because in a lot of tournaments it's direct victory. But if she draws this game, she's going to play against Natalia Tsodikova. And it's going to be a two-game match. I definitely will take a break before that starts. I need to know exactly what's happening. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Wouldn't you guys say so? I think it'll be really interesting. I wonder what she's... Maybe it's because she's low in time. She's trying to kind of secure first, second place, because she was struggling the whole game. So she's thinking, you know what, like, I'm cool if I get a draw, and then, you know, I wonder if that's what she's thinking. Because I think potentially, hi Mike, potentially I think that the money is shared. So it's just the title. Yeah, I think they're going to go for the draw. Or maybe they already did. Maybe they already drew the game. Because 15 minutes delay. And yeah, draw. Okay, so we have a matchup. Now I need to find out when it's being played. This is going to be interesting. I didn't hear anything. And I hope it's broadcasted, because I do want you guys to see that, and I'm interested too. And I hope they don't put a 15-minute delay. I just really want to see it in. It's like there's no reason to do that. So this is the final game being played, probably once this game is over. So I'm gonna take a break in that case. Call to find out when it is that they play. We'll leave you with this game, since unfortunately for her, Shernaz is going to lose this game. So it's going to be a nice finish for Natasha. So I will leave you with this game. I'm going to call and find... I don't think it's over yet. I don't think it's over. I'm going to call and find out what's happening with that. And then I'll be back as soon as I know. And I need to wash my face as well, you know, for a second, to just get final moments of energy. It's been a long day. So let us find out. So leave you with this game. Please don't go anywhere because it's about to get exciting. Or not. But I think it will, because Blitz games, there's always a lot of blunders. So let's find out. We'll cut the zoom as usual, the camera as usual. I'll cut the mics, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Stay close. Oh, they're playing. Let's go. Okay. E4. Oh, there's a noise. How do I get rid? I can't get rid of the noise. It's fine. Okay. Sicilian. Close Sicilian. Rook E1 or C3. What's it gonna be? C3. Okay. D5. They were providing lunch. I didn't have any dinner. I have some bread and some cheese in the fridge, so I'll probably eat some of that later. Once this is over. So Angelina is taking a bit longer than expected. So knight f6, so possibly expecting. Oh, okay. This d4 should be really good for white. D4 is really good. Queen e2 could be fine to d4. I like it. Yeah, I didn't think knight f6 was the right thing. I think black normally should play either d6 or d5 in these positions, right? Ooh, Angelina's going for the attack. Okay, h4. Although, I mean, I'm not too worried, but I think h4 should be kind of a good idea to play in this position. Maybe bishop g5 or something. Bishop g5, but bishop g5 allows bishop e7, and now you trade, queen takes, and then h4 is still a move, unless she wants after bishop e7 to go h4 then, and then in case of a capture, knight takes. That could be a good move as well for Natalia. She has to be mindful with the time. So they are playing 3+2. If the score is 1-1, then they play Armageddon. 5 minutes for the white pieces and 4 minutes for black, and black has draws. Oh, I don't like that move at all. That weakens the diagonal. The queen comes to g6. It's going to be scary. Can white play this move, or am I being a bit too aggressive? Could white actually play it here after f6? Oh yeah, probably not. Okay, takes this bishop f4. I like it. I like d5. I think white is threatening d5, rook e1. Black's king is going to be really weak. I'm a bit surprised by Angelina's choice to play f6. I think she's weakening the position a bit too much. Knight d2, knight e4. d5, rook e1. Rook e1 putting pressure on e6, right? Okay, that works too, but okay, knight d2 maybe? I really liked rook e1. I'm surprised. Oh, queen g7. Queen g6, queen f7. Okay. I don't know why Natalia would want to trade queens. She should try to go for a... knight d2. Natalia's doing really well with time. She's almost up a minute. This is really good. Bishop h4 would have been nice, casual. I like bishop f4. f6 looks very strange. Definitely looks strange in that position for sure. Rook c1, okay. But maybe a3 would have been nice. I don't like to allow bishop e4. Actually, I like h3 too. Okay, knight has to take. If rook takes, there's h3 and the knight is lost. So the knight has to take. Should we go knight h4 here? Oh, no, this pawn is hanging. Maybe bishop h3 to control f5 so that black doesn't get the chance. Nice. Black doesn't get the chance to play knight f5. Like, I think it makes sense, right? And rook e1. Angelina's having a slightly better position. I'm enjoying her center if she manages to start pushing it, but she doesn't have much time. She needs to play fast. Okay, knight g4 is going to be captured eventually, right? Rook c3, rook c1. Sure, I was thinking to go rook e1. I kind of like this move. Putting pressure there. a3, okay. Stops knight b4, so we can go rook e1 next, and there's no knight b4, knight d3. Okay. Players are going for an equal position. Knight g2, knight e3. Potentially, I don't know. King f2. Ah, king f2, knight c2, and that pawn could be lost. Oh no! She's gonna lose one of those pawns! Natalia, what have you done? She has to play faster. She just dropped one of the pawns and knight b3. Okay, bring the king to e3? Maybe, but knight c2. Knight c2, b5? Okay. But if the knight goes to b4 and then knight c2, that's gonna be a problem. Knight f4, maybe? It's tough. It's tough. That pawn is lost. Bishop f1, king f1. Knight f4, pawn comes in. Knight e2. Gotta defend that. I don't think she can afford to give one more pawn. Okay, knight c1 maybe? Yeah, but knight takes d4 and then this falls too. Hi Chris, how are you doing? Yeah, exchanging the pieces did give black a good position, but time! Wait, what's going on? Whose time? What happened? What happened with the time? Did black win? Who won? We need a result. Black won. So Angelina wins this one, but why do I see both games here? Wait, what's happening? No, I don't know what's happening. Wait, I'm confused. This game shows that Angelina won. This game shows that Natalia won. So now I don't know who had what color. I mean, I presume it was Natalia that had white, but I don't know what happened. Drama on the board. Drama on the board. No, what's happening? I mean, Natalia normally is an e4 player and Angelina d4, so I presume this is the correct result, but This game is shown here too, so did anyone check the pieces? I don't know. The fun. Uh, okay, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. Apologies. I believe Angelina won this one. But basically, like if we go back there, right? She did play a bit. A bishop h4 here wouldn't have worked casual, but I think you meant pawn takes and then bishop h4. I actually would have liked this idea. And then rook e1, queen d3. Like if you really want to do that, knight comes in here too. So okay, I guess we're seeing. Wait, there's a new game. There's a new game. It's showed here. Okay, there was a mistake there. Never mind. So Angelina won that game, and now we're starting a new one. Okay, so let's catch up with the moves. I apologize for not realizing that they added a new one. Okay, so Angelina is going for the London. She did play this in the tournament, so the result was correct. Angelina won the first game. Angelina won the first game. E5. D takes e5. Knight takes e5. She keeps going for this h4, h5 idea, and it can be scary for a blitz. I can assure you that that can be scary. And if you know me, I've played h4, h5 in blitz games and bullet games quite a lot, you know. h5. Okay, so the score is 1-0 for Angelina, and their time control they are playing this little matchup is 3 minutes plus 2 seconds. So Natalia needs to win in order to get the Armageddon. Okay. a5, b4, just b4 directly. If you play a3, we can go a5, b4, chasing this knight away. Okay, there's not much to do on the h-file, so I think black is ready for b4. Black is ready for it. Knight c4 could be a nice idea as well, and opening up the bishop, but I really don't ever want to give up this bishop, considering that this covers the h8 square. Okay, so I guess she goes to knight c4, but definitely do not take in c3. So knight c4, if white plays queen d3, do we go b4? Or do we go knight takes b2 and b4? This looks nice. This looks nice. So let's see where white moves the queen. Actually, regardless, I guess bishop takes e4 has to happen. If you move the queen here, knight takes b2 and b4 looks really nice. So white has to take. Okay, she took it. Okay. Pawn takes. Now we have ideas with queen a5 potentially. Careful not to play rook b8. We got the bishop on the. Yeah, bishop takes e4 looks force. Yeah, I just really like the idea there. You know. e4. Can this be played? I kind of like it. I kind of like d4. But what are you going to do on the h-file? With the bishop there, you can't mate me yet. You need this bishop gone so that you can give like rook h8, bishop takes, rook takes, king takes, queen h6 check, and then some bishop e5 or bishop somehow on the f6. But it takes a while, casual. It's not so easy. I like d4. And I actually want c3 to be played next. I don't know where this knight is going to go. I know I can potentially capture this pawn too if you move the... Or maybe the knight is not going to go anywhere since we're threatening... Or, well, we're not threatening, but we're pinning that pawn, right? She did move it. c5 is the best? What about... c3 probably wouldn't do much. And then maybe something like this, I was thinking. All right, knight e2, c5. So if I were black, I would definitely be considering... Oh, do not allow the bishop trade. Do not, whatever you do. Maybe c3. But c3 pawn takes and we don't have time, maybe. No! No, no, no. White is gonna double now on the h-file. Now Casual's idea is working. I don't like the disappearance of the bishop in g7. Although the bishop in f4 also is gone, so we can have rook b8. Oh, it was played right as I put the mouse there, so okay. Rook b8. And be on the look for d3 ideas. c3, okay. Marks it as a mistake, I don't know why, but, you know. Can go d3, okay. Natalia has to play fast. She is doing better on the time. She just has to try to find some nice improvement moves. I don't see them, but maybe bishop e6. Just develop. I mean, development is important. Yep, good. All right, double up on the b file, rook b6. Let's see, rook b6, rook b8. People will think I'm rooting for Natalia. I'm just trying to find some. I wanna see the Armageddon game. So I want it to be 1-1. That way we'll have more chess, guys. That would be nice. Wait, is queen takes c3 possible? No, not yet. Rook b8 first. Rook takes b2. Rook takes b2. Rook takes b2. Rook b8. Rook takes b2. Rook b8. Queen c3. Let's go. Oh, it's mate. It's gonna be mate. We're gonna have an Armageddon. Queen c3. Go. Queen takes c3. Mate in 2. Let's go. We are having an Armageddon, my friends. Come on, Natalia. What are you doing? Make the move. What's happening? Don't tell me she's not gonna make the move. What's happening? She lost some time? Angelina lost some time? No, he's mating too, come on. Oh. What? Did she win? Okay, 1-1. Yes, isn't this exciting? What do you mean must be over? Yeah, it's 1-1. She won. It was so gorgeous. I mean, come on, it was so gorgeous. I think rook b2 would have made it much nicer, but okay. Okay, we had rook b8 with that idea. It's difficult to find a defense. I don't even know what the defense is. I don't even, like, I don't know, knight takes or something? No, I don't know. What's the defense? Maybe queen d2? Queen d2 would have been the defense. Sack the queen and survive there. That's why it was important to go rook takes b2 first. But now rook h2, bam! Like, don't you want to see a game like this where there's a sacrifice and then, you know? I'm excited for both of the players because now we are having extra chess. How awesome is that? They're probably not going to be happy with me. They'll be like, Sabina, seriously. The players are waiting. Some of them might be trying to leave home because I think some of them are leaving tonight. And I'm laughing here like a silly person, but you know, I mean, I'm just getting very excited for cool games, you know. Anyways. Okay. So Armageddon. Oh, Armageddon is starting. Wait, what happened? Okay, so who's gonna get what? Okay. We're in Utah, so mountain time, I guess, or like -2 from Eastern, -2 from Eastern time zone. Beautiful games by both players, very entertaining. No, no, no. That will get fixed, Chris. That will get fixed. I think it's mountain time. I don't know, right? Because there's like what, Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Western, like West. I don't know, Pacific. Okay, and yeah, okay. Something, something. What is going on with this game? Ah, I'm so nervous. Who gets black now? The interesting thing is both games are won by black. So you would think you actually want to have black pieces because you get like quadruple odds, right? Because like you have double, like 2 odds, like 2 out of 3, but technically you have like basically 3 out of 4. I think your odds increase because both games were won by black. Am I right? Am I making this thing correctly, or I don't know, right? So in game 6, Angelina won with the black pieces. In game 7, well, 7 here, but like in this game, the second game, Natalia won with the black pieces. And now in the Armageddon, you would want to have black, right? Because black won both games. So extra odds. Extra. Okay. What is happening? Why don't we get the game? I'm nervous. Should white? Yes, white should have draw odds. Good point, Chris. Let's fight for that. No, I don't want to cause any drama. I'm enough dramatic of a person myself. We're not causing it for anyone else. We keep it to ourselves. It's gonna be between me and the chat. Okay, we know that would be something wise to do, but we're not gonna bring that idea into the question, Chris. I think that's the fair thing to do. Keep it for ourselves. Eastern time is bedtime. Oh no, Neander. Yeah, it's like 10:16 p.m. What is happening? Please, please tell me. 1-1. I'm nervous. I have no idea what's happening, Casual. I don't want to know because I don't want to say something mistakenly. Maybe I shouldn't even have said that they might not have wanted to play, so maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't know. I hope I didn't say anything bad. I didn't think it was wrong in their opinion, but that's my personal opinion, not, just to be clear, if I sometimes make statements that are, I try to have my opinions, but usually keep them to myself. But in this way, I'm kind of in the middle. I think it makes sense what they were trying to do, to share the plays. I mean, they've worked hard, both of them, and they played a really long tournament. And then let's not forget, I mean, this is okay. All right, Natalia got the black pieces, so she's got good odds, but let's see. Will Angelina be able to win this game? Okay, Angelina did not go for the London anymore. She decided to play some English. Reti English. Opposite Sicilian with reverse colors. So 5 versus 4. And I don't know if they're getting 2 seconds increment or not. I don't know why I understood that they are. Check out the time and let me know if you see 2 seconds being added once the move is made. I think they're getting 2 seconds increment. Maybe Chris knows, and if he does, please do let the chat know, Chris, please. All right, E4. So if we're white, do we go D4 here? No, D3, okay. I should have changed that title to tie breaks. My bad. I didn't make that. I forgot. Okay, too late. I was too distracted about what was going on that I didn't do it. I apologize in advance. I mean, I apologize after the fact, so cannot say that anymore. Okay, so if you're white and you're trying to play for a win, what do you do here? Castle? Knight e4? Do you want to go for e4? But e4 would just like help black a lot. Knight e5? Oh. Rook b1 maybe? Or b3, bishop b2? I like b3, bishop b2 personally. I know, but as far as I know, this Armageddon, like it gives increment after move 60, if I'm not mistaken, Chris, right? I know they made that rule after my game. There was my game and another one in 2008. I was declared a loss with knight versus knight, so they figured that they would add a 2-second increment after move 60, if I'm not mistaken. So this game is not as sharp, it's more positional. This is the style that Natalia usually enjoys and plays quite well. Jelena doesn't have any kind of attack, but she did win the first game in a positional fashion, and nice endgame actually. I like bishop e6. We're keeping the pressure, but also preparing some d5. The knight is coming towards the e4. It's so quiet, both in my room and the chat. What is going on? Do you guys have a favorite? Now's the time to tell me, because we want to know. I just wanted to have an Armageddon game. Who are you guys rooting for? Really into the match. I like that. I like that. Great. 95 knights. This looks a bit suspicious to me. Why was that move played? Should we? I mean, I thought. Okay, so white is bringing the rook back to d1 and potentially thinking of c5. Okay, that's not really a blunder. Come on. Check out the time. The time difference. Natalia is up on time. No, there's no 30 seconds increment anymore. 1 minute 30. So white started with 5 minutes, black with 4. And black has draw odds. So if the game ends in a draw, black is declared the champion. This year's US Women's Senior Champion. Why didn't she take with the queen? I would have loved trading queens here and then taking with the rook so that I can put pressure. Maybe she's thinking she can try to attack or something, but I mean, where? The bishops are looking in the other direction. Or maybe she's trying to make it difficult, complicated. I mean, now she's up over a minute. King h2. After king h2, can black play knight takes e4? I'm not sure, Chris. I asked. They told me it's 2 seconds increment, but did you guys see time being added? The clocks should be accurate. I think there's no delay. I'm showing you the part that doesn't have delay. If you guys are watching normally, you shouldn't be able to see these games yet. I have very little delay, like maybe a couple seconds delay. I asked for permission to broadcast this. Without the delay. I mean, there is some, but not 15 minutes. It's not 15 minutes. It's just like maybe 5 or something. You saw increment? Okay, so then I guess they have 2 seconds increment. Why is that move a blunder? Okay, Natalia is down a pawn, but she's doing still better with time. She just needs to stay as focused as she can. As for Angelina, she has to try to play a bit faster. Okay, rook takes, right? Oh, okay. Okay, now there are ideas like this, though. Knight c4? Knight c4 played. Oh, no, I don't think there's increment. I think that's it. I believe that is it. No. Wait. What happened? Do we have more moves or that's it? Shows 1 second. Oh, sorry, guys. I don't know. It disappeared. It wasn't making the moves. 1 second. Okay, so there is increment because that clock kept going down. Okay. 1 second to 20 seconds. Oh my god. I cannot imagine what's going on in their minds. I don't want to be in their shoes right now. Just make a move. C5, anything. Black? Did White lose on time? I think I can call it. I think... Wait, what? Wait, I think this is it. I'm sorry, I have to confirm before making a statement because... yeah, I'm double checking to make sure before I make a congratulatory message. This was the 5-minute game. 5 versus 4. So this was the Armageddon one. So it should be over. Why is nobody messaging me? Just like... Congrats to the winner! See, but they think they were not getting extra time? What happened? Sorry, I just want to confirm. I hope someone will write me. There's 7 people in this chat. Let's see how many of these are gonna be kind enough to answer. No, that's for Armageddon. Plot twist. This was just a ploy to keep us on stream. Yeah, I lied. We had different people play this blitz match. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I was left alone. Nobody cares about me. Okay, guys, I can officially say that Natalia has won the Armageddon. Congratulations to her again. Second U.S. Women's Senior Champion title in a row. Congratulations, Natalia. Natalia, well played. Amazing fight by Angelina too. She's had some two tough games today, and very long games. Must have been tough for both of them to play into this. So huge congratulations. Both of them deserved winners. The title officially goes to Natalia, and I believe they share the prize. That remains to be seen. I'm not aware of those things. But what we care about is that we had fun. I hope you had fun. I really appreciated being here. I certainly hope you did too. Huge shout out to Precision Tune Auto Care for sponsoring this tournament. I believe next year it will be held in the same time as the US Juniors, Girls Juniors, and Senior Championships in St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken, but that remains to be confirmed later officially, super officially, potentially, maybe, I don't know. If not, I wanted to say a huge thank you to Maureen, David, and everyone else who has helped make this tournament great for the players and making sure that they're well taken care of, being able to play here and having the tournament organized, bringing in the sponsorship for the prizes, which is amazing. We want to see more women stay in the game and coming back after a long time. There's very interesting stories. All of their stories are really inspirational, and I certainly hope if there were any females who watch these, or if some of you are having daughters who are playing chess or friends who are playing chess, encourage them to stay in the game and learn to fight through the toughness of sometimes losing a game. But after all, it's a beautiful game that teaches us a lot about life and about motivation, discipline, and so many other things, strategic thinking, so many other things. And seeing a lot of these female players is just inspirational for me. So thank you all for giving me a great time here. The players, that is, the chat as well, for those of you who interacted, it meant a lot, because it's hard sometimes to talk for 8 to 10 hours back to back. But I will I have had a couple of interviews with some of the players, and I certainly hope they'll be posted on US Chess. Don't forget to follow US Chess on social media accounts. I'm going to put the links once again, especially YouTube and Twitter/X now, where you get the chance to actually see the news that is happening in the world. Lots of important competitions, including World Cup, which you're probably all following. We still have an American playing, so good luck, Sam. And yes, for me, I'm looking forward to having a promotional stream for, a pre-stream before the great national championship that will take place in Spokane, in Washington State, mid-December. Those will be broadcasted here on US Chess, and certainly hope to see you again soon. Thank you again, Maureen and David, and everyone. I don't know if I missed anything. Oh, how can I forget? I want to also say big thank you to Karen and Kiki for being great arbiters in the tournament. Big thank you to Matt Crosset, who's been behind the scenes, making sure the DGTs are working. And for me to be able to stream the games and bring all the action to you, it's often a team work, and nothing can be done. I mean, things can be done maybe by one person, but it's always nice to have a team. And what David and Maureen have put together, it's been really nice. And big thank you to everyone who showed up.